Hello! Well, my name is Secondman814, and welcome to my review of Joker. Yes, the newest origins and story, I guess you could say, of the DC of the popular DC Comics supervillain. Now, start right off the bat. Did I like this movie? Yes, I did. And for those of you wondering, this movie is extremely dark, and extremely violent. So yes, what you've been hearing is true. And honestly, I think it works to the film's benefit because, and not just because this is about the Joker. I shouldn't say air quote, but it's not just because this is about the Joker, but but the violence in this movie isn't just there for the sake of the violence. So basically, this movie, as you all know, stars Joaquin Phoenix. So, and basically, he's starring as Arthur, as a struggling comedian, or I guess you could say a failed comedian, who basically slowly descends into madness and turns into the Joker. Now, there are things that influence that, but that's basically the plot of this movie in a nutshell. But, getting back to what I said in the beginning, this movie is extremely dark and extremely violent. And this movie does cover some dark themes, such as, I shouldn't say adoption is a dark theme, but murder, insanity, mental disorders. Let's see, what else is there? There, political unrest, approach, and well, I guess you'd say it all. Hey, there's a little bit of matricide in there, but so yeah. Oh, I almost forgot. This movie also does cover child abuse, and that's about it. But so yeah. So basically, you have Joaquin Phoenix in the role, all descending into madness, and basically he's a party clown, or a clown for hire, who gets fired after he gets caught or it's a gun after he gets caught with a gun. Well, I shouldn't say gets caught, but after a gun falls out of his pocket at a children's hospital. And then on the train ride home, he ends up murdering three executives of Wayne Enterprises, which basically starts to protest in the city and causes the city to descend into madness itself. Now, I will say, like I said in the beginning, the violence in this movie works to its benefit. But yeah, so the murder, and I will have to say, the violence is well, they don't hold back. Let's just say, hey. One of the things that is good, like for example, when he kills the three in Enterprise executives, like you see, it is bloody and violent. Like, okay, so basically he kills two in self-defense, but still, even when he shoots them, like you see the blood effect. Actually, it's not like a movie where like you might see the bullet holes, but no, you see the splatter effects too here. And when he kills the third one, which he basically executes, Which, he basically, you see the blood trail. Hell, I mean, like here's also a scene in this movie where he kills one of his former co-workers, where he like by violently stabbing him with a pair of shears, and wow, is it violent? Like there's a violent. I mean, seriously. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, uh, and basically after he kills the three Wayne Enterprise executives. That's where he starts his descent into madness, and eventually, and his slow descent into madness, I think is what really he makes this film dark, but as well as definitely one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, because it feels like a I guess you'd say I don't really want to say natural, but it feels real. It feels genuine. That's what I'm looking for. It feels like the kind of slow descent into insanity that a person in his situation might feel. I mean, like after the loss of medicine and basically, but basically, yeah. And I admit, there are some intense scenes in this movie. There is a scene in the movie where he murders his mother after discovering that he was in fact adopted, and then basically neglected and abused as a child. Child. So yeah. Now I will say that the part where he learns about his child abuse. That's kind of the only part of the movie that really he covers that topic. But I think it is important to mention it. But yeah, I will say that one of the things I did like in this movie is how near the end, where basically it shows how the murder of the three executives basically has essentially driven the city to political unrest, and by the end, it's literally a riot, and this riot, and that is one of the things I think is good. It actually helps. I guess you could say show his descent into becoming the Joker. Er, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, as well. Not to mention, I also think. Mm, I think it is important to show his descent and as well as the city's descent and show the result of his actions, because I mean the Joker has always been about chaos, so I think it's important to show one his descent into insanity, as well as his descent and into as well as the chaos that he does cause. Now, I want to go back to what I touched on earlier in this review, where I said that this movie is extremely dark and extremely violent. And I know I have mentioned the murders here, but I have to discuss the fact that the fact, or I should say, reinstate the fact, or reinforce the fact that whenever somebody dies in this movie, most of the time, I mean, you see the death played out in full view. There is one murder that happens off camera near the end, but other than that, excuse me, this movie gets very, very dark. and violent. Like when he murders his former coworker with the pair of scissors. Like you see the blood, you see him stab him, the blood come out. Like you see him literally repeatedly bash the coworker's head up against the wall, while there's still a pair of scissors in his head. Like it's intent. It can be intense, and I warn you, this movie. Warn you, it's not just the violence. It's also the dark or the drama. I shouldn't say. I don't want to say drama, but even in between, like one of the things I said this movie covers is a mental disorder, and that's what shouldn't call it a men. Well, I guess you could. This guy has a mental disorder, which I believe pseudo-bulbar affect. So yeah, it's a pseudo-bulbar affect, which is basically a disorder that can cause people to laugh or cry at inappropriate times. And that I think is, and the thing is, I think is the way they use it here, or I think is very well. I think is actually very well representative of hmm, of how it can affect people, or when they laugh at, or like how they laugh at people laugh at inappropriate times. That times they don't just happen. Whenever he starts laughing, it is yes, it's inappropriate, but in the current given the current situation, but it helps to show that basically he is that that it can affect his everyday life. So yeah, now that I think was important. And so oh yeah, and I have to warn you, if you're not into into dark and violent movies where it's like movies where at least Jesus, like at least 5 or so people die throughout the course of the plot, as well as you get to basically see a madman, a guy going basically he's psychotic. This probably won't be the movie for you. But yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. So yeah, so that's Joker. And it's time for the obvious camera. So it's time for the final rating. My final rating for Joker is a 9 out of 10. Would I recommend this movie? For mature audiences only. This is definitely one for mature audiences only. Also, also if you're if you're gonna go into this movie expecting some sort of whole big comic book extravaganza, I'd say skip this one. And you need to go into this one expecting a thriller. Basically a psychological drama thriller is what you need to expect. I guess you'd say a dark psychological drama thriller is what you need to expect going into this movie. But there you have it. Joker, 9 out of 10. Go see it if you're looking for a good dark and violent psychological drama thriller. And well, that about wraps up for this video. My name is Reelwind814. Thank you so much for watching. May the wind always be at your back. See you next time!